Mm.
Okay, welcome everyone to Lesson Bank CEO series. At Lesson Bank, we believe that behind every successful person is a collection of experience, collection of lessons that most people never get to hear. The late nights, the 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 silent cry, you understand, and the missteps, the pivots, and the breakthrough that most people never get to know. You understand? So our goal here is to be able to like extract lessons, great lessons out of every situations. So that's why we that's what we do at Lesson Bank, and that's what we're trying to actually extract out some lessons that can actually help other people, so as to be able to channel their own steps, as not to be able to repeat the mistake that other people have actually made in the past. So that's why Lesson Bank is here. So today I'm with my very good friend Alajide Abiodun, a, a problem solver, a deep thinker. I would like you to just briefly introduce yourself to our viewers.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Olajide Abiodun, like you said. A Nigerian, located into the UK. Yeah, married with kids.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much for that beautiful and wonderful introduction. I'd like to start at the beginning of every journey. There's a starting point. So I want you to like take us back to 2011. What actually motivated you? What inspired you to be able to leave Nigeria to the shore of UK?
Oh wow. Good question. Of course, we were bachelors back then. You just wake up in the morning. I think the first thing that comes to my head actually is what to eat. Is actually was a struggle. So you're always thinking about what to eat. By the time you get what to eat, how to even come about it is a task. By the time you get what you eat, probably about 2, 3 o'clock. By the time you finish eating, you're exhausted. You cannot even be productive. So it was really crazy. It was a cycle back then. So it was kind of so there was absolutely no way you could. I mean, you struggle to even come up with ideas, or even if you have ideas, for you to develop your ideas, except there's some divine intervention from God, or you're fortunate to have one or two people that have links that can help you out. On my own path, I mean, I only had one person, which was God, really. So I thought a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, went to the UK and came back. And I thought it was a very good opportunity it was an opportunity that I had to explore. It was, it would give me an opportunity to start up all over again. And I looked into it, and as God may have it, it all worked out, and I'm settled in the UK now. Because of course I thought that there would be better opportunities and greener pastures.
Okay, that's a very beautiful reason for your migration, and I like your honesty and your being truthful about this. So, and that must have been a very exciting time. New country, new hope, new dreams, new visions, and new envisioning as well. So that will take me to the next question. So, what was the lowest point of that journey, and what actually kept you going?
So the lowest point of my journey in the UK, wow. Honestly, so when I came to the UK, so there was a time, I think about 3 years into it, or maybe about 5 years into it, when I started, when I'd settled down, I was becoming comfortable, and I thought to myself that I'd never been on a 0 point since I got to the UK. But then I now later realized, and now reflected back on it. I thought that, come on, man, you were even. I definitely was. I just did not really feel like it. With the glory of God, though, um, because what I'd gone through in Nigeria, really, I'd gone through crazy things in Nigeria, and of course, my dad lives on the street. The street my dad lives on now is named after him. So he has properties, but I kind of have come from home and decided to find myself out. So I slept rough. So getting to the UK, of course, I became homeless and I started sleeping rough. Of course, so I wouldn't say I was not at zero. Of course I was, because I slept in trains, I think. Yeah, trains, buses, phone booths. So there was this day there was, so during winter there was, when, because I said lowest point, yeah.
At lowest point.
During winter, because I'm walking around the streets of London in the cold. So there's this block of flat that I would go to. I just go there and forcefully open the door to go sleep on the stairway. That was some warmth. Of course, it wasn't as warm, but of course it
That
was
was
a
a crazy
secluded place.
experience.
It was a secluded place. So I was sleeping on the staircase one day, and I dreamt that I was in Nigeria, and I was struggling to get out of Nigeria, and I was kind of stuck. And when I woke up, I found myself still at the staircase. I was like, yeah, I'm still here. Okay, I'm not actually stuck in Nigeria. So that kind of even re-energized me, and I thought, okay, the fact that I'm still here, of course, it means that something good is definitely going to happen. The hope was still high, the hope was alive. So I just kept striving, and with time,
Did you ever think of giving up?
not at one time, not at one time. No, no one. I mean, we growing up. I had a group of boys that we grew up together. Kind of, we did our youthful days together. We called ourselves QA. There was this 50 Cent album back in the day that was called Get Rich or Die Trying. So that was kind of our motto back then, that you had to get rich or die trying.
That was a kind of motivation for you at that time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there was no chance of giving up. I mean, you might just get. There's no point giving up. You might just die trying. You get what I mean? So there.
Thank God your story didn't end there.
Yeah, yeah. Glory be to God. Of course,
Because
100%,
eventually
100%.
things began to change. So can you
Yeah, and in life, gone.
can you tell us about the journey of becoming legally settled in UK? Or what were the biggest lessons you actually learned during that process?
Yeah, I mean, journey of becoming settled in the UK. I mean, I would say when I initially arrived, there was a friend of my cousin that kind of met with me and told me that if you want to get settled in this country, what you want to do is get a partner, start a family up. And at the time, of course, I was even overdue. Before I left Nigeria, my mom and dad were like, come, bring your wife home and all that. So I thought, okay, it was an opportunity to start all over again. I mean, it was kind of killing two birds with a stone, get a partner, and I was even due to start a family, and if I do that as well, it probably would, eh, you know, hand me my citizenship or my settlement. So of course, I pursued it, and yeah, to God be the glory. I found out my partner at the moment, my current wife. We settled down, one thing led to the other, and we have two beautiful kids. Glory be to God.
What advice would you give to someone going through that same process today?
Well, first things first. I mean, I think, of course, as much as it might sound cringy to some people or sound like an everyday talk. I think God first is always it. Of course, a lot of people probably don't even call God, and they still are successful. But I don't know, maybe it's my upbringing or my background, but I believe strongly that God intervenes. There are a lot of things He's proved Himself to me a lot of times. That's one. Two, yourself, you have to, believe in yourself, believe in your struggle, and do not stop, do not relent. You have to be consistent, keep struggling. And one day, everything, all your struggle will just fall into place. It will be one last puzzle that you will key in, and all the struggles, all the puzzles you've been laying, you've been putting together all along will just fit, boom, and it will be a perfect. But that will just be the time. It will probably be the easiest. The one that will key in will probably be the easiest one you do. considering, if you compare it to the ones you've done previously. So the main thing is do not relent, just keep striving, and at some point, your hard work will definitely pay off. If you're doing it one way, you're not getting it, try it a different way or tweak it a little bit. You're trying an approach and just try a different approach, mix it a little bit,
You,
take it from a different angle.
what excites me about your story is the
Yeah.
fact that the faith and believe in God. Because I understand that if you believe in God, God will give you a kind of strength to believe in yourself. Because
Yeah.
most of you do, God will not come down and do some of the things for you. You have to do most things yourself with the help of God.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you need to see it as us. That is just our thinking. Now, if you're looking at it generally, some people, I mean, which is not as if I kind of encourage, some people probably don't believe God does anything. Some people don't even, because I know people that actually don't, because of course, in my part of the world, when they wake up without praying to God and they believe they will go to sleep and still wake up the next day, which is a guarantee to them, and they don't need to pray to God. And they will still wake up the next day, and still come to work and all that. So they just believe, and they will still do whatever they want to do, without still praying to God. So, I mean, it might be quite difficult for you to tell them about God and for them to accept it, because whatever they want to do, they still get done. So, but personal, I think it's just a personal thing,
Yeah.
but, yeah.
So that's an exciting one. So and that would actually bring me to my next question. You built a multicultural marriage by being married to an Indian lady. So what has that experience taught you about relationship? And has it taught you about culture and building
Um,
a way home from home?
yeah, I mean, of course, it's just that it only just says that we're all one, really. Life is as it is one. It's one world. Yeah, though diversified. So it's just taught me is it's taught me something new about different cultures. Of course, I was kind of in my own world initially, Nigerian African man, but it's opened my eyes to a different perspective, a different culture, and to it's made me a little bit flexible in terms of accommodating a different culture in my family life, even with my children and all that. Yeah, so of course things are not like African the way I want it. I mean, I eat Indian foods now. I go to India. I do those
So
things. So
you've been
it's
to
not
India.
like, of course, yeah, I was in India last year. With the family.
Hope they didn't attack you because I heard Indians don't like black people getting married to.
Matter of fact, I did not. I contemplated going, but honest to God, when I went, it was the opposite. It was the opposite. Like I know they were so warm. Everyone wanted to be around me. They were so welcoming.
Oh, that's
They were. I mean, it was very
that's
lovely.
that's a beautiful thing to hear. That's a beautiful
Yeah,
thing.
it was lovely. It
So
was lovely. It
many
was
people
lovely.
watching this interview maybe
Mm.
actually be going through what you actually experienced. You understand? So what advice would you give to a young Nigerians or a young immigrant who are currently struggling to find their feet in a new country? Not only in UK per se.
All right. So what I would say is when at my early days, of course, a whole lot of people now are I would say they're privileged. When I came into the country, I came as a visitor and I had to work my way up the ladder. I mean, you get some people coming now, ready-made. They just read. They probably came in as a student and in
You're going
2 years or 3 years. Sorry? Yeah, yeah. You get to work immediately and all that. I didn't work for I think the first 2, 3 years, because I couldn't even work. I had to just sort myself out somehow. So what I'm saying anyway, in essence, is there was this place I went to, I used to go then because after I'd walked the whole London, of course I enjoy it at times, I must be honest, because I'm a Lagos man. After I'd walked the whole of London, of course, I need to relax in the morning or during the day. So there's this barber shop that I go to. He's a friend of mine, and he has people, Nigerians that come there. He barbs for them and different, elderly people, young, of all age. When I'm there, you get a couple of people coming there that I see at the time as okay people, well to do, they're all right. But when they tell stories about their initial when they just came, when they're new in the country, the stories are always appalling. I'm always like, ooh, ooh, oh, wow. Did you really go through that? Did you really?
It's
You
gonna get
know?
before it gets better.
Yeah. So, and I look at the story they're telling, and I look at the current situation. I see that, of course, it's two different, two parallel situations. So at the time, what I was going through as well, I was just like, oh, so it's like I'm also just paying my dues. So in essence, whatever you're going through, the main thing is one, God, two, be steadfast. You have to be consistent, keep at it. Three, believe in yourself. Honestly, I think with those three, you know,
What's one mistake you think a new immigrant should avoid, especially in UK?
thinking you're in Nigeria, really,
Oh, they should avoid
you know,
having so they should drop that Nigerian mindset.
yeah, you think you're in Nigeria, all the Nigerian ways, you just want to bring it down here with you and all that. No, you're not. It's a different ball game.
So immediately you get into UK, just
Know that you are out of Nigeria.
forget
That's the
about
main
your
thing.
Nigeria mentality. Oh, that's
Yeah, they said that. Yeah,
that's a good
yeah.
that's a
You're in a different space. It works differently. Everything works differently. The people works differently. The system works differently. It might be similar, but
yeah.
it is different. Yeah. So you cannot use a system out here as well. No.
So
No. So yeah.
you are asked to like summarize your journey in just like three life lessons, what would those lessons be? If you want to summarize all of your journey in just three like three kind of lessons, so what would those lessons be?
I think I must have mentioned it. I'll say um my lesson. Yeah, I'll say my judge. Yeah, well, initially, my whole life lesson. You said initially, of course, I got. I when the first half, the first. Sorry, you said three life lessons. I'll divide it into three. The first third is of course, I grew up with under my parents, and everything was okay. And my dad, everybody was responsible. My parents were responsible for me. Life was smooth. When I wanted to eat, I eat. I ate. I slept. I had no responsibilities. That was smooth. The second stage was, of course, trying to find my ground in life, which was a struggle. That was the toughest time. I was quite notorious. I did a whole lot of things that probably, if I had my way, I probably would not have done. If I had options, I probably would not have done. But yeah, we just still went ahead with that. I had with that, and we had to survive. And the third stage, which is now, which brings me closer to God, makes me more responsible. Yeah, just makes me calmer, looking forward to life and with aspirations, trying to still better myself, really. So yeah, I mean, we're living and we're pushing. May God give us the grace and crown our effort.
Yadu, thank you very much for the honesty, and thank you for sharing your journey with me today. I really appreciate your openness, and I think a lot of people would have one or two to actually learn from your story.
It's a pleasure.
And I really appreciate you, and I believe with God everything is possible, and I
Yes, it
believe
is.
God every problem has a kind of solution. You know what I mean? So to everyone watching this, I want to tell you whatever you're going through, just believe if you have God on your side and you have your own self on your side as well, you're definitely get through part of it. There's no problem that is not surmountable. It depends on how you see yourself, what your mindset is, how you are able to like set your mindset to achieving your goal. If you set your mind to achieving your goal, you're definitely gonna achieve them. So if you find this interview very lovely or valuable, you have to like this and share this interview and subscribe to our channel for more, because your stories are important as well. Other people's story are important as well. So if you share your story with us as well, other people are going to be able to learn from it, and they're going to be able to like find their own fit from your own story. So if you have a story that is valuable that you wish to share for people, there's a link in the comments. Fill the Google form in the comments. Tell us a story. We want to hear your story. So tell us a story. We'll be able to like share your story with other people that are willing to go far in life. Because for you to go far in life, you need to learn from other people, and you need to actually learn from who have actually gone through what you're actually going through. Because whatever you're going through, it is that you're going through, someone else has actually gone through it before. So it's not new. There's nothing new in this life. Whatever you need to do, somebody has done it before, and you have to learn from what other people have actually gone through. So that's life, and that's how life is built, for us to actually learn from each other and to be able to like find our own feet in life. So this is Lesson Bank, and this is why this Lesson Bank is here, and this is why we want to share other people's story, so that people can actually learn from other people's experience, their mistakes, their lessons. So thank you very much for coming, Mr. Biodun, and thank you so much for being part of this tonight. I really appreciate your coming.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
And thank you for your openness, for your kindness, and for being who you are. Thank you, because your story enough inspiration, not for only yourself, but for the rest of the world, for other people that are watching this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, just to add to that, I mean, of course, like I said, one of the things that kept me going was the stories I heard from people, so which kept me going. So why I'm always happy to share my story as well. So because I know if some people hear it, it probably will keep them going as well. So of course, it is always a pleasure, and I'm always happy to
because
do
because
that.
you learn from other people's lessons. That's why you're able to like find your own feet. So thank you very
Yes,
much for
that's
coming.
correct.
Thank you for sharing your story. We appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
And thank you for everyone. See you in the next episode.
All right. Thank you very much.